Messaging is one of those things that feels like a heavy lift. Like you're going to need to clear your calendar, get all of those client projects out of the way to do the deep thinking. And in this video, I am going to prove you wrong in the next few minutes. I'm Dr. Michelle Mazur. I help established consultants and service providers get a message that is compelling, recognizable, and easy to repeat. So your marketing does its job even when you're not in the room. And in this video, I want to show you the tool I built, Moxie, the marketing suite. And I'm going to create 4 core messaging assets fast. I'm going to figure out client themes, a client empathy map, a micro story, and a crisp problem statement that gets you paid. No perfect final copy, just shitty first drafts that are actually useful. And if you want to see where your message is leaking clients, run my free message reality check. You'll get a custom report generated from my frameworks showing you your biggest leak that's costing you clients and what to do about it. Now, I understand you feel like messaging takes forever because you've been thinking about it for months, if not years, and you're trying to do it yourself, alone, unstructured, staring at a blank page, trying to describe yourself. And that is brutal, my friend. And yes, you can plug stuff into ChatGPT and Claude and get something that sounds fine. And I did a whole video on that you can go check out. But that copy and messaging tends to be weirdly lifeless. Like it could belong to anyone. Now, Moxie's job is to sound like you and your client because it's applying my frameworks to your real world voice of customer inputs. Now, there are 2 quick rules for this demo. I'm going to be moving fast on purpose, and the goal is momentum, not perfection. This is where Moxie lives. So today we're going to use the Your Clients squad. And all I'm going to do is tell her, hello. And then she is going to come in and ask me about my voice of customer research. And here's the thing I want you to know. Your voice, you already have voice of customer research. It is in the consultation calls you do. It is in your intake forms. Voice of customer data is everywhere, and your clients are telling you what to talk about in your messaging. You just need to listen to them. So she's asking me, okay, what are we doing today? Like what kind of VOC? So I have some survey research from actually my intake forms that I've already copied and pasted, and I'm just gonna hit return. And then she's going to spend a few minutes thinking about it. She's a little slow at this point because she's doing a big job of figuring out what your client pain points are, what are their objections and hesitations, why are they going to work with you now, and the urgency. All right, after a minute or 2 of thinking, she has analyzed the 50 survey responses, and she's given me some of the ahas. The biggest aha, these are not beginners. They're deeply credentialed, ridiculously experienced experts who are drowning in their own brilliance, and they know it. And now you can see she breaks down the pain points and she's pulling out quotes that support them. I can't read my own label from inside the jar. Marketing overwhelm that leads to paralysis. Then we're going into the objections. I'm already drowning in courses. Marketing feels growth. And then what do they want? A message so clear that it speaks for them in rooms they're not in, a simpler marketing system. And then she's telling me, why are they going to work with me now? Right? So they're in the middle of a pivot. What they've been doing has stopped, and they're done trying to figure out alone. So she has completed her analysis. And then the next thing we're going to do is create a client empathy map that summarizes what they're thinking, doing, feeling, and saying. Please give me a client empathy map. So she's going to summarize a little bit about what messaging, like what she's seeing already. And you read through that and you're like, great. Yes, go for it. So now she's just pulling out the direct quotations, like what they say, what they think. Everyone seems to have this figured out. What's wrong with me? What are they doing? And how do they feel? This becomes very easy for me to reference to be able to create my marketing and my copy from. But now we're going to take this one step further and create some micro stories. Micro stories are bite-sized stories that your clients can feel themselves in. They see themselves in those stories. And I'm just going to pick one of the themes about what's working has stopped working. And she can create a micro story for any of the themes. So she tells me what she's working with, and then I'm like, yep, type in go, and then she will create some good micro stories. Ooh, and there's some goodies here, right? So I love this one. It's not that you don't know how to sell. You're great at sales when you're in the room with someone, but somewhere between 2023 and now, the referral mode that used to feed your business stopped working the way it used to, and you can feel the fragility underneath everything you've built. And where she's bolding is actually where she's using some of my voice of customer research. So this is fun, but I want to go on to the final piece of messaging, and that is creating the problem statement. And remember, problems, they get you paid. So I'm going to bring in the problem statement and be like, help me find the problem I solve. So what the problem statement finder does is she locates what their presenting problems are from their own words. What are the events that are happening that moves them forward? And she tells you why this problem sucks. And then she asks you, hey, is there anything you want to include? So for me, at this point, I would add a little more context about why it sucks for them. Like, I realize that experts who are great at what they do, when their marketing doesn't work, it shakes their confidence to their core. And that impacts their business and how they show up. So that is Moxie. And you can see that in just a few minutes, we got client themes, an empathy map, micro stories, and a crisp problem statement. And Moxie is the reason why you don't need to clear the decks and disappear for weeks on end to do your messaging and do that heavy lifting. You need structure, a process, some voice of customer data that you already have that is lingering, not being used. And you need something that gets you into draft mode without spiraling, without overthinking, without saying, oh my gosh, I don't know if this is right, because Moxie is collaborating with you. So if you want to see where your messaging is currently leaking clients, run my free message reality check. Answer 4 questions, just drop your homepage link, and in about 5 minutes, you'll get a custom report using some of the same frameworks I used to build Moxie, showing you where the biggest leak is that is costing you clients. You can grab it right below this video. Run the reality check, and then you know how to fix your messaging, because Moxie and I have your back. I'll see you in the next video.